位观众、各位网友，大家好，我是总台央广中国之声记者周一帆。那么，2021年的这个高考呢，在今天要正式拉开大幕了。在今年，全国有1078万名考生要走进考场，这个数据呢，其实也是再创新高。全国今年有7200个考点，那么考场的数量呢是46.6万个。
and there are around 466,000 different classrooms prepared for the testings. And in recent days, we have seen a few news that the citizens and also the local residents has given the students red bands and to celebrate their success. Today, starting from the 7 a.m., we are going to bring to you the latest update of the college entrance examination. I wish all the students could get the remarks that they wanted. And I am here located. I'm in the affiliated school of China, People's University of China, and this year, today, there is around 45,000 students who is going to enter into the testing ground today. And in Beijing, there is 17 different testing districts and 46 different testing classrooms, and we have also prepared 312 different preparational testing areas. And for Beijing students, this is a day marks their future destiny, and this is also a day turning the destiny for the family. So here we wish every student could get the remarks, get the point that they wish. And we have talked about that to guarantee a smooth operation for the college entrance examination, such as today. It is a very important day, and all the different institutions has been working together to guarantee the healthy diet and also the sound sleep of all the students. For example, in the morning, in the Haidian district, and the college entrance institutions, all the different papers has been transferred to the testing area. So I'm going to give you a live streaming toward that thing, and we could see some of the students is working toward their high school. And as I have remarked, at 6 a.m., we are here in the testing center of Beijing Haidian to witness the first part of the college entrance examinations. And at 6 a.m., we have witnessed the vehicles transporting the testing paper. We have witnessed 2 different vehicles carrying the testing paper together with them. We are here broadcasting from somewhere near the affiliated high school of the People's University of China, and we have demonstrated you a small video clips of the vehicle transporting the testing paper, and they are trying to drive in toward the testing classroom. And after that, the testing paper is going to be shouldered and transported into this very special box. And for each one of the vehicles, they carried 2 different testing papers, and for all the bureaus of the public security, they dispatch policemen to safeguard all the testing paper. And for each one of the vehicle, it is being facilitated with a GPS to position its dynamic position, and they can observe it from the screen. For example, if there is any emergency occurred, they can treat with that emergency. So it is very quick to fill in, to put the testing paper into the vehicle, and they are going to drive it from another gate. We have also shoot some of the relevant video clips to demonstrate to you. So let's have a view toward that vehicle. We could see the examination papers is being transported through a very quick manner, and this morning the paper has arrived into Haidian Testing Center for around 21 different vehicles at 6:25. Around 61 different vehicles has been filled with testing papers, and they're driving toward there. As I have introduced you to all the different students in Beijing, here we have 90 different examination rooms, and they have a lot of vehicles to guarantee the transportations of that examination paper. And today we are doing the live streaming. Apart from introducing you the process of the transportations of the testing papers, we also hope to update you when the students is arriving from the testing areas. We hope that all of you could be very well prepared for today's test. I'm here at the affiliated high school of People's University of China. It is somewhere near Zhongguancun. So I also want to kindly remind all the parents, because it is not very convenient to park near the Zhongguancun area. So I suggest all of you to be prepared for the traffic, and we see a lot of police vehicles and a lot of journalists just working as me, and also a lot of security guys who is prepared for the first wave of the students arriving at the testing points. One thing I also want to explain to the viewers is that we are here at 7:02 a.m. Beijing time. According to the information of the Beijing Examinations and Testing Center, this year we actually requires a higher or earlier entrance time for the first testing, which is testing the Chinese. It requires the students to arrive at the testing classroom or examination classroom after 8:25 a.m. in the morning. So all the different workers, I believe all the different staffs and workers are prepared for this important test. So you might wonder what kind of prevention control measures that we are doing toward the COVID-19 pandemic. Just as I have introduced to you, the frontline workers must be injected with vaccines, and also all the different workers attending today's testing must be went through a nucleic acid testing, and they should have a negative testing result within 7 days. For the students, they also need to go through a very concrete health examination requirement, and the testing process. For each one of the testing grounds, they should be facilitated with a professional COVID-19 prevention and control officer who is responsible for any emergency outbreak of the COVID-19. This year, if you enter into the testing area or examination classroom, you should went through the sterilization process. And if you are on the road to the testing ground, you should double check your medical mask, and you should double check your testing identification or examination identification. Today is the Monday of Beijing, and in Beijing, the number 2 and number 7 vehicle pallet was forbidden to the street, and I hope all of you could arrive on the testing ground in a very timely manner. And when you are prepared for that testing, you could also work in an orderly manner to welcome such an important day, the test of the Chinese. Dear viewers, we are here at the affiliated school of People's University of China, and I believe with the process of time, we see more and more people gather up in front of the gateway. And throughout today, we are going to brought you the latest updates from the examination classrooms and schools across the country. So here is the latest update from Beijing. Thank you.
…30秒倒计时。
So here, right at this time, we have picked up one of the students, Xinjia. So we are going to be together with her on the journey to the examination classroom. And we've been talked with her for a few remarks. So we also talked with her mom. So let me ask a few questions. What did you prepare for the breakfast? I thought a lot about the variety that my kids like to eat. I cooked 2 eggs. I prepared everything, but I finally gave up. I don't want to give her too much pressure, so I just prepared the usual breakfast, the porridge, the millet porridge, or a few dishes that she wants to eat, and fried eggs. So I could feel her mother was very so I could feel the different levels of the thought of her mother. She thanked so many times before the preparations of the breakfast. I could see that you were wearing the qipao, traditional Chinese gown. It has some of the meaning behind it, right? Could you please introduce to us? This is a big day for my kid. The qipao is celebrating the successful opening in the traditional Chinese culture, so it is also an indication that. So since we are set off here, how do you feel? I feel nervous and anxious. I am more exciting than my kids. I worried about the traffic congestions, traffic jams, or rainy weather. But I believe today we are enjoying a very sunny opening. So I could hear the excitement of the mother, and I believe that since you have been prepared for years, you might be more exciting than your kids. So Xinjia, which one of the disciplines that you are quite excels at? My favorite subject is history. I used to get full marks of the history, but now I return all the marks that I get to my teacher. unlike the ancient Chinese.
给大家讲的话，我想想啊，就讲一个我们河南的简称豫吧，
So let me tell you one interesting anecdote from the history. So why does the Henan is short-named for Yu? So in the history, the ancient emperor has divided the Chinese hinterland into 9 different parts.
央视的各位网友，大家好，我是总台央视新闻记者于晨，我现在是在浙江杭州学军中学的考点。那么再过一会儿。
Dear viewers from CMJ, I am at the gateway of Zhejiang Hangzhou's Xuejin High School, and in Zhejiang, this year we are going to witness around 330,000 students entrance their college entrance examination. The Zhejiang's college entrance examination is going to start from today until 4 days later. It is going to the longest college entrance examination across the country. I could see a lot of students with their parents entering into the testing school, and I believe all the different staffs who are already being well positioned. I'd like to give an interview toward the officers who is responsible for management of the transportation. So I believe from the early morning they started their preparations. I believe there is no less than 3 of them who is being positioned of them. I'd like to give an interview toward Mr. Officer Han, who is at the public security bureaus of the transportation at the Zhejiang Hangzhou bureaus. So I like to say that if you have any emergency and on your routes to the testing areas, and we believe that the parents and the students can contact with us for the first time, and we have also prepared for some of the motorbike to take the students toward the testing areas and give you any in-time help. And we have also set up some of the temporary parking lot for the parents to send their kids to the testing ground. It is the area where the taxi drivers is going to be parked and dispatch the students, and we have intensified the transportation management today to guarantee that during the college entrance examination days, all the transportation is going to work at a very smooth manner. And fourthly, during the college entrance examination period, and we have named a few vehicles, especially at the traffic conjunctions where so we have also forbidden all the large scale vehicles and trucks to enter into the testing stations, and a few different crossroads near the testing area. I believe that we are at the center of the Hangzhou city, where a lot of famous high schools were gathered up. So do you have any suggestion to the parents or the students? From my professions, I hope that you could follow the transportation measures, and before the transportations, my suggestion is that if you are early here, I suggest you to went through these traffic conjunctions in a very quick manner, and 30 minutes before the testing. I think the parents is only allowed to be position their vehicle in this parking lot. Do not go here in an early manner, because the transportation and also the police officer is going to get your car into the remote position. Thank you very much for your effort here. I have understand that for the public security officers in the Hangzhou city, and also the public security officers of the transportation, and they are prepared and for these college entrance examinations. There are also so many different vehicles positioned here. In case anything happened, they could solve the problems for the students. I have interviewed one of the taxi drivers who have been servicing here. So when did you start your service here? I started my service here for the college entrance students from the year 2003. At the first day, at the early years, I provided one-to-one dispatch work. Later on, I served as an emergency backup team. So some of the students used to lost their ID card at home. I'm going to help them to drive back, and if there is any emergency, I am going to help them. Yes, it is free of charge. I am a taxi driver affiliated by the Hangzhou taxation company, so it is demonstrating the company's social responsibilities. So from the transportation perspective, there are so many different officers of the public transportation who is positioned here. Let's look at the testing high schools. I have arrived here at 6:30, but I believe that the staff from the school has arrived earlier than I am. I could see the teachers and also the security guard is waiting for the students. And according to the universal requirement, they have kindly reminded the students. I'd like to give you an interview toward Mr. Zhang, who is the schoolmaster of the Hangzhou Xuexing School. Mr. Zhang, could you give us a brief introduction and about your preparational work of today's college entrance? 1 hour later, the college entrance examination about 2021 is about to unveil. And for the Hangzhou Zhuwen High School, we have set up 26 different testing classrooms, and we are going to accommodate it for 7.7 million students. All the preparational work has been very well finished. This year, I believe all the Zhejiang College, Zhejiang province has set up a facial screening system, and it is also very helpful for the public safety. And this is the first time we are using the facial recognition functions. It is going to guarantee the ID and fairness of and transparency of exams today. Apart from that, do we have any other guaranteeing measures? Because I am not going to enter into the examination classrooms, so the information I could give is only outside the testing high school examination classroom. And the recent few days, we've been working together with the public transportation managers and also the Ministry of Healthcare, and we are also working together with the bureaus of the market qualities, and they have went to our school and give us some of the guidelines toward the preparations today, especially in the areas of the prevention and control of COVID-19. We prepared 3 different channels for the students to enter into that. And one special channel is the ultraviolet light. And if we are witnessing any abnormal circumstances, it is going to went through the epidemiological research. I could see one staff is working really hard from the morning. He is here to record all the personal information of the students. And because we have prepared some of the resting areas in our cafeteria, so the students are not going to leave the school. I could see that they are dispatching the lunch coupon for the students. As a schoolmaster, you've been working with several different years of the students. Do you have anything that you want to say to the students? It's about to start. College entrance examination is an important examination in your life, but your life is not going to be defined or constrained by this examination. It is a turning point. It is a new start for the students. I hope that all the students could treat it with the common sense, with the common routinely behavior to deal it with a very calm measure. I hope that you could have a bright future waiting for you. Thank you very much. You are wearing a bright red polo shirt, which has a very good indication. Thank you very much. We understand the professional effort from the different departments has been finished. So I believe the students, one by one, is going to enter into the testing areas. So in the direction that I am pointing toward a lot to parents after they have send their students here, they are waiting here, they have wear the red cheapo, which is indicating a very successful opening. And I also see a lot of parents who have bought with the red banners. Let's have a look toward these red banners and what is written on them. Can you tell us what is written on there? So A is indicating this is a red banner dispatched by the parents group of the second class of the third year for the high school, and it is an indication that the students is going to have a very successful remarks. They might be too shy. You kids also went through the college entrance examination, right? Yes, I am also wearing red for my kid. Do you have something to say to you kids? I wish all the kids could get the marks that they wanted. And are you going to wait for your for your kid? I'm going to say it. All the parents have their wishes for their kids. I hope that your wish could come true, just as what is written on the red banner. So that is the latest update from the Zhejiang Hangzhou. Let's wish all the students have a very successful points today and could get their best performance today. Thank you. Dear viewers from the CMG, today marks the first day of the college entrance examinations, and here I'm at the gate of the Mingde Middle School of Changsha City. We could see a lot of vehicles gathered up here, and I think all the parents is here waiting anxiously for their kids, and somewhere near the college entrance examinations, and the government and also the local institutions has dispatched some of the bottled water, breakfast, medical mask, and also sterilization kits. And in Changsha, in the recent few days, the highest temperature is always around or above 30 degrees centigrade. That's the reason why the local community has prepared the Huoxiang Zhengqi shui, which is a traditional Chinese medicine package, to help to relieve the symptoms of the heat wave of the students. And all the different staff is wearing red to celebrate the bright future for the students. Apart from these special positions, and let's witness another special group. There is a professional buses route that is combined by 12 different buses, who is responsible for the to and fro between the students, who is actually organized by the local schools, and they are responsible for fetching and getting the students. It is composed of the 12 different buses, and they are going to be responsible to safeguard around 500 different students. Let's look into the details. On this bus, it has not only marked from 1 to 12 the different marks. At the same time, it has also attached some of the labels which marks a special vehicle for the college entrance examinations. That's the reason why when they are commuting in the Changsha city, they are going to enjoy the privilege, because we are in the middle of the pandemic. All the vehicles is going to went through a very strict sterilization process. Let's look into the detail. So the sterilization day is the 7th of the June 2021. So for the qualifications of the buses, I have interviewed the person who's responsible for these vehicles. Yesterday, I interviewed one of the officers. They have double-checked the braking functions and the lighting systems of the vehicles. Once it's being successful, it is going to be dispatched. And the school also recruited a very experienced drivers. According to the introductions, all the drivers have over 10 years driving histories. They are used to all kinds of weather conditions. So I believe later on the successful and safe drive of the students is going to be guaranteed. Apart from a very experienced drivers, the students is going to be accompanied by their teachers. And yesterday, when I talked about why should I set this up, it is going to ease the tension for the students. So during this process, if there is any temporary measures, the teachers is going to introduce them and it is going to relieve them. At my hand, it is a arranging time schedule for this vehicle, because the vehicle is organized by the schoolmasters. In the coming 3 days, the timeline and the time slot is going to be written here, and if you want, we have also attached some of the emergency contact. And the vehicle is going to start. So together with the cameras, apart from the buses, and apart from these buses, the officers of the transportations from the public bureau is also going to safeguard these buses. So I'd like to interview one officer of the Xiangjing, who is from the Officer Xiang from the Changsha city. So what kind of measures do we prepare to guarantee that? In the past 3 days, in the Mingde High School and the Changjun High School, we are preparing for 109 different routes, and for each one of the officers is going to accompany the buses, and we are also going to dispatch that radio in a timely manner, and this is going to guarantee a micromanagement. And all the students is going to arrive their testing or examination classroom in a safe manner. We all know that the buses is very environmental friendly. It's also going to save us time. So we are here at the Mingde High School, and it's peak time. It usually takes around 45 minutes to get to the Changjun Middle School. So for the private-owned vehicles, it is going to take longer. So with the help of the transportation officers, we are going to shorten the time for around 20 minutes. With the safeguard of the transportation officers, there might be some of the breakdowns of the buses. Do you have any emergency measures? To deal with the breakdowns of the buses, we have set up 36 different positions alongside the route, and if there is any emergencies or if there is any breakdown of buses or we are going to track and drag these vehicles to guarantee that they are going to arrive smoothly. So, Mr. Xiang, I could see that there is important marks holding at your hand. I have seen that mask being attached on the shield glasses. So what does it mean for this icon? I'd like to introduce you. This is a specially designed icon from the transportation bureaus, transportation officers, because the majority of the students is going to take the bus. For those of the parents who is going to dispatch their kids into the examination classroom, they can use this poster to be attached to their vehicle, and that is an indication that they have the kids who is going to run through the college entrance examinations. And once the people on the route see that, they are going to give the priority to the parents. And if there is any transportation officers spotted them, it is an important marks. How will they get the marks? In Changsha Transportation Bureau, we have set up a WeChat account. So if the parents want to get this poster or special sticker, they are going to apply it through the WeChat officer account. So for those of the parents, they are going to get the delivery package. Thank you very much, Mr. Xiang. We have witnessed the bus team apart from the Mingde School students, and we are seeing other different students arriving at Mingde School. And in the recent few years, the school is working for the safeguardings, and the buses is actually works for the safeguardings of the students. Of course, near the Mingde School, we could see the parents who is here, and I could see a few parents who's wearing the qipao. It is a very unique scenery. So I believe all of you are here to you have wear the qipao. So do you want to say to your kids? I wish my kids a successful opening. Thank you very much. When did you arrive here? At 7 a.m. So you'll be here on a very early manner. Are you more anxious than your kids? Yes. What breakfast did you cook for your kids? So I'm actually use the 粽子. So I think 粽子 has the same pronunciation as getting the point. So with the process of the time, I'm going to give you the latest update of the Mingde School, and the vehicle is about to start, and they are doing their latest preparations. And in their school, I could see a lot of students, a lot of parents is waiting here, doing the final preparations. And yesterday at afternoon, we have been here to the Mingde School at the entrance gate, because Mingde High School is one of the key testing schools for the college entrance examinations. At their gate, they are going to have a automated body temperature testing. So if the students went through that, they are going to find the allocations of the temperature testings, and during the process we have the security guards and also the school workers to maintain the orders, and it is going to guarantee a very smooth operations of that. Apart from that, across the school we could see some of the red tenant. Apart from the breakfast sent up by the community, the tent also is going to blockage the raining weathers. So we all know that Hunan's local weather is very fluctuate, and during the 3 days of the college entrance examinations, it is going to block the sunny suns, blistering suns, and rains for the students. According to the latest information, all the buses is going to start their journey 3 minutes later, and the students is doing their last preparations before that. In order to organize the buses, all the students is going to be, their name is going to be enlisted here. And yesterday's afternoon, when we were prepared, they have been prepared with the dispatch of the buses. And yesterday they have dispatched all the students. So I believe in this morning we have a very ordered management. Let's went through that and let's work toward the buses. According to our previous informations, the buses is about to start, and the Changsha transportation officer is going to safeguard them. During our previous live streaming, I believe some of you might notice that these are the students attending for the college entrance examination. Today, they are going to attend the college entrance examination in Mingde High School. It is being dispatched by other schools through the buses. We could see the smiles on the faces of the students. It is easing the tensions for the college entrance examinations, and for the buses, they have been ordered from 1 to 10. The student is sitting on the buses, and from the cracks of their curtains, I could see that they are in a very stable mood. Today, Changsha has a very good weather. This is going to bode well for the students. So with the moving of the camera, we are moving toward the bus in the hat. And later on, we are going to witness the start of the bus, and I believe all the police officers is prepared for the start of the bus. So I am actually in front of the number 7 vehicle, and also the guiding vehicle is prepared at 7:45. Number 1 to number 6 bus has already been started. As I have introduced you, the first batch of the buses has arrived, and we are about to witness the second batch of the vehicles. So the police officers have started their preparation. As I have noted before, because we have thought about the security and safety of that, that's the reason why they have chosen very safely about the drivers. I believe the drivers have over 10 years experience. I think they are going to guarantee the safety of the students, and apart from that, the officers of the public transportation is also going to safeguard the students. From the first vehicle, which is number 7, we could see some of the kids sitting at the front row. They are in a very high attention, and they believe that we are seeing the smiles on their faces. I hope that they could have a very bright future around the vehicle. They have a very good so if there has some of the emergencies, they could find the teacher that they are familiarized with, and they are not going to be very anxious. Today I have also known one notion that is for all the students, all the teachers, they have 藿香正气水, which is traditional Chinese medicine treating the heat wave. And if there is any emergency, the drug could be used for the first time. Now we are going to witness the start of the vehicle, and this is going to be bode well for the students. they are going to start their journey toward Xiangfu Middle School. I believe after the officer's vehicle, the bus is sending the students to the Xiangfu Zhongxue, Xiangfu Middle School is going to have a bright future. And here's our wish. According to our background information, the students taking up the buses is going to enjoy the privilege on the road, and it's also going to greatly save the time. It is also going to be highly efficient to safeguard the students. This is the number 11 bus. So we are here at the Mingde Middle School of Changsha City of Hunan Province. I've been reporting to you the latest update from the sites. As this case is fighting for their future, there are so many local staffs working for their bright future. I hope that they could treasure these important missions and important days. This is the latest update from Changsha, Hunan. Thank you.
各位央视新闻的网友，大家上午好，我是总台记者孙强。那看完湖南的情况，我们再来看看天津。
Let me brought you the latest update of Tianjin from dear viewers. So I am here at the Yaohua Middle School of Tianjin. I believe the students is entering. I am here to show you the route and to see whether there is any emergency. Today we have invited Officer Du Chao, who is the officer responsible for the transportation management in the Tianjin Public Security Bureau. So later on, a few miles before, one parent is waiting for the buses, and so we could see that the public transportation officer has taken the parents to the examination classroom. That is around 2 kilometers away from here. So because the parents that need the help of the police officer, her kid, the madam, her kid is about to enter into the college entrance examination today. That's the reason why we are providing the on-time help. I believe if you are driving through the vehicles, it's going to be driving through the cars is going to take a longer time. If we can transport the parents with this special motorbike, it is going to save the time. Just as I have mentioned, I believe the students have successfully and safely arrived at the testing area. So can you give us some of the updates from another testing school? I hope the officers is brief each other the latest update of the information. It is going to be because in the Monday mornings of the Tianjin and somewhere near the middle school, it is going to be an area where the traffic is going to be very congestible. So currently we see no vehicles. Let me give you the Yaohua Middle School, for example, as an example. It is located in the center of Tianjin, and it is a key school located near the Nanjing Road. Because so many people have arrived here, and somewhere near that we have the Yaohua Elementary School and also other different kindergartens who is also located here. So in every morning there are so many parents sending their kids to there. And the Nanjing Road, the road is not very wide, and we are here giving you a footage of the Shanxi Road. And So the transportation pressure is very huge in the normal days, let alone the college entrance examination day. So I believe in some of the route near the Nanjing Road, the Xinhua Road, the Hubei Road, we have dispatched some of the officers kindly remind the drivers that there is no need to go to the Nanjing Road.
我们民警看着已经是上岁数了，头发白了。
这是我们的全国劳动模范黄江鹏鹏队长，
也是个队长是吗？
对。
那其实是全员出警来到现场。
So all the officers from the Public Security Bureau is working here, and we are actually looking at one officer who is a national model for the laborers. He also working on the sites. That's the reason why I believe the officers has a high confidence toward the transportations, and there might be some of the slow movements. So I believe the traffic peak has not arrived yet. So there is not going to be any traffic jam. So the officers is going to block the vehicle, and it's about to be 8 a.m. The students is about to enter into the testing areas. I believe that all the parents want to dispatch their students at the gate of the testing area, examination but there might be some of the slowing of the transportations. But for the job of a police officer, they need to move the traffic as quickly as possible. And we have came up with a very special measures. And we have set up a parking lot for each one of the testing centers. And we have required all the students to upload their certification to the center, and the traffic actually works really well. And it's going to occupy the transportation routes. For many different cities, it is that the public transportation officer has also borrowed some of the routes for the special traffic for the college entrance examination takers and their parents. I believe that if they can upload the relevant information, and they are going to enjoy the privilege on the route. So I also like to remind all the viewers that tomorrow the restricted vehicle pallet number is going to be 3 and 8. For those of the parents, or those of the private-owned vehicles, who is the parents who have their vehicle and who is going to transport their kids to the testing center, I like to remind you all of these convenient measures. And I also kindly want the parents to avoid. And if they have met up with some of the traffic accident, I suggest the parents to let the kids deal with the examinations first. No matter what happens, let the students went to the testing center first. So I think the people might experience several waves of the anxiety. I also suggest all of you to be calm at that moment. We did not live streaming that incident, but I believe that if you have encountered something, all the people are willing to help. All the police officers is ready to help. There might be some of the incidents the students forget their ID certifications. and the student went to the wrong testing center. I think that we are going to interview some of the officers who is going to help us to address that problem. They are waiting here for a long time. So why did you set up a very special motorbike motorbike team? What kind of problems are you looking for and taking care of? The major advantage of the motorbike team is that it is very flexible. If the officers cannot be drive towards somewhere, and we are going to use the motorbike first and play the role as a very flexible force. And today we have 26 testing center, and we have dispatched some of the police forces at each one of the testing center, and the police officer is going to work at the main road and to discover all the incidents. Around 15 minutes before that, we have addressed one urgent emergency for one student. I believe today we have went through a very smooth opening of the day because I have the police forces distribution at each one of the testing center. And we have set up a WeChat group, and none of them have said any emergency incidents. I hope all the students could enjoy a very smooth journey. I really want to thank Officer Zhao for your effort today. Here we could see that at the remote part, there is some of the volunteers team who are here to address the problems for the students. Let me talk about the electrified vehicles. Of course, electrified vehicle cannot deliver the people, cannot carry some of the people, but for the electrified vehicles, the Meituan specialized force can fetch the identifications for the students. This is a joint effort between the Transportation Management Bureaus together with. We prepared a lot. Emergency first aid kit, medical mask, 藿香正气, 水, which is a part of traditional Chinese medicine treating the heat wave. At each one of the testing center, you will find some of the service delivered by Meituan. They can provide you emergency delivery. If you forget your ID card or other certifications, I believe 2/3 of the students is here to gather up here. I believe the students can enter into the testing center. The traffic is very smooth. I could see that in the Shanxi Road and the Baoding Road, it marks the peak for the kindergartens and elementary schools. They are under a huge pressure, so I suggest all of you to park your vehicle, and you can help your kids to work toward here. If you encountered some of the emergency situations, you can ask help for any single one of the officers nearby you, because the officers have the responsibilities or have the power to dispatch you case. So at the front of the gate, we also served some of the emergency vehicles. These are some of the volunteering efforts provided by the cities. If the parents want to accompany their students to other testing center, they can book these taxis, because in the main road or in the fast roads, we are going to use these voluntary taxi vehicles, voluntary taxis to dispatch the students. Finally, I'd like to introduce you other different requirement during the examinations, even if you are not students taking up the examinations in the process first. So if you are passing through the testing center, please do not stop here and do not rain here. For each one of the testing center, we have dispatched some of the officers who is providing the guidance here. So, and apart from that, I also like to remind all the parents, the first testing item means that the parents might arrive 1 hour early or 30 minutes early, but in the second or in the third testing in the second examination or in the third examination, the parents might arrive on time. But so I kindly remind you that there are so many road work, construction work on the road. So I suggested all the parents to do a better planning. And for the public officers, we are going to use the electrified police officer to monitor all the major junctions. And for the rainings, and we are going to capture that. And we have dispatched a really strong police force here. Of course, there is not going to be a continuous whistle blowing here in front of the gate. The students is about to enter into the testing center. I've seen so many parents wearing the qipao, which spots well for the college entrance examination. My greatest feeling is that every single person is working hard for the smooth opening of such an examination. So what I want to say to the students is to work hard, test well, and we are here to safeguard you. So this is the latest update from Tianjin. You can follow other different colleagues from me to went through the province of Jilin. Dear viewers from CMG, today is the college entrance examination day. I am at the transportation center for the Changchun City. I'm going to work together with the police officers of Changchun City to give you guaranteeing measures from Changchun City. So I am here with Director Yu Pei, who is responsible for the traffic management of Changchun. So, dear viewers, with CMG, I'd like to introduce you the allocation of the forces of Changchun City. So this is the ground management center for the Changchun City. So I'd like to introduce you the guaranteeing measures in Changchun. We have set it up 53 different examination centers in Changchun, and there is around 52,000 students taking up the examinations. There are 24 different testing areas. Before the college entrance examinations, according to the different features of the testing areas, for each one of the team, we are going to come up with a plan according to the different routes, transportations, and also we are going to have a very detailed applications of the plans. We are also going to talk with the officers, and according to the previous information of the traffic flows, we are going to have a very detailed research based on that scenario. We are going to come up with a security guiding principles. I believe that at 7:40, a lot of students is entered into the testing center, have entered into the testing center. So we are here to arrange the traffic once again according to the people's flow. And once the students entered into here, the parents can wait here for their students. According to the requirements of this examination ground, at the front gate, we have set up a temporary waiting area. It is going to be convenient for the students. And we are also using the police vehicle to circling the parents off. So I believe that for the parents, they might concern about their kids during the college entrance examination too much. That's the reason why we need to safeguard them and give them all kinds of routes. And we all know that today all the public transportation officers is launching an emergency level 1 treatment. So what is level 1 emergency scenario? The level 1 emergency scenario is to guarantee an overall operation of the police force. Across Changchun City, we have dispatched 1,900 different police officers. And we have also set up 443 different police stations, among which 333 taxis. I could see that on the major screens, the transportation has go through a very orderly manner. I'd like to invite Director Yu to have a live streaming with the officers online. Officer Wang Hao, can you hear me? So, this is Wang Hao from the middle school of number 88. Can you give us some of the latest updates about the police force? Today is the first day of the college entrance examination. All the forces has been arrived at 6:50, and we have also set up the signs forbidding the whistling of the vehicle or blowing of the vehicle. The examination or the testing center is very close to the major road. So what kind of measure did you take to deal with this heavy flow of the vehicles and also heavy flow of the people? Number 88 Middle School is located at the city center. Usually, it has a lot of people and pedestrians and also the traffic going through. And I believe some of the parents is still waiting for their students anxiously. And they need to say something to their kids. I could see the pedestrian is working at a very orderly manner. I think they are working really hard. So can you give us some introductions toward the students at the number 88 middle school? Starting from 7:30, the students entered into the college entrance examinations, and we could see here, somewhere near me, there's a very special route allowing the students to enter. Some of the students have not entered. They are still have a very close distance communication with the students. At 8:45, we have some of the time. Some of the students has not arrived yet. Thank you very much, Director Yu. I'd like to be contacting with the second middle school, which is the affiliated school of Dongbei Normal University, Northeast Normal University. So I could see the officers who is working at the stations. Can you talk to the officer working on site to let the officer give us a brief introduction toward the real-time scenarios of the affiliated middle school of the Northeast Normal University? The route near the Northeast Normal University affiliated middle school is quite different with the number 88 schools. We'd like to invite Officer Li Zhongzhe. Can you give us a brief introduction toward the management? Report to the Control and Prevention Centers. I believe the affiliated middle school of the Normal University has been closed down the roads. Starting from yesterday morning, we have checked and quantified all the vehicles, and we have cleaned up all the vehicles. So far, the transportation has went through a very smooth process. So we have informed all the vehicles if they are passing here. So I believe at the gateway of affiliated school of Northeast Normal University, they work through a very smooth journey. Does it have any impact toward the traffic flow? So far, the affiliated school of the Dongbei Normal University has worked really well. I believe at the front gate we have dispatched some of the officers to guarantee a very smooth transportation. I believe some of the students. So can you give us a brief introduction toward the students who is entering? Their students is entering one by one. I believe they are also talking with some of the parents.
好的，
Thank you.
那我们知道啊，长春呢，今天呢是这个共设置了12个考区啊，全市呢有
Changchun has
53
set
处的
up
考
12
点，
different
共计
examination
2000
ports,
多
and
个
they
考
have
区来参加考试。
53
而长春
different
市的教
testing
育支队
areas.
呢，也
And
充分
today we
地
are seeing
这个
around
在辖区的各个考点和周边道路进行了实际的考察。刚才我们
250,000 different
工作人员
students,
介绍，
and
也
we
已经
are
看到，目前呢，
witnessing
长
the
春市的各个
real-time live
周边的
streaming
路
of
况还
all
有
the
秩序
different
都是非常齐
areas
全的。
near
那么
the
我们也在
examination
此呢，
centers
祝
of the
愿各位
Changchun
考
City.
生呢，能
So
够取
we
得一个
wish
好
all
的
the
成
students
绩。
have a
那么我
great
们也感谢
and
呢，
promising
在交通指
future.
挥中心
We
呢，
also want to
给
thank
大
Director
家呢
Yu
介
for
绍信息。
for his latest update of the Prevention and Control Center of Changchun City. Thank you very much.
好的，正在收看的直播的观众朋友们，大家好，我现在所在的位置是云南样比中高中部高考考点的现场，让我们先跟着镜头来看一看现场的情况。
So, dear viewers, I'm here at the Yunnan Yangbi city, and after the earthquake, let's check the latest update after the earthquake. After the earthquake at May the 21st, the local government has adopted all kinds of measures to the smooth operations of the Yunnan Yangbi County, and there is around 491 students who is attending and registered for the college entrance examinations, and there are 335 different students taking up the exams. And all of this college entrance examination is set up at some of the temporary apartments. And after that, this temporary tent has been responsible for the college entrance examinations, and the local community has also guaranteed all kinds of measures. I would like to give an interview toward Mr. Tian, who is director of the education bureaus of the local county. So, Mr. Tian, can you go? So after the earthquake, to resume the successful operations of the college entrance examinations, what kind of measures did we take to guarantee a very smooth environment of the students to prepare them better for this college entrance examination? The county of Yangbi has witnessed several waves of aftershock, especially at the 4th of June. We have witnessed magnitude 3 and magnitude 4 after waves. Based on that, we have upheld the meetings of the Yangbi local county to make sure that we are going to use the temporary shelter as the major testing areas. According to the latest high temperature, raining weather, and some of the psychological problems of the students after the earthquake, and after we have adopted the new testing areas, we are adopting all kinds of measures to make sure the successful operations of the college entrance examination. For one part, in this standard temporary shelters, we have set up some of the shelters, and inside of the testing area, we have also tested about the waterproof, and we have also provided the air conditionings in the testing area. Thirdly, we have also used the precaution measures after the COVID-19 pandemic. These are for the exercise. We have also invited professors and experts at the psychological department to give the psychological treatment and preparations for the students. We are trying our best to create the best environment for the students in the Yangbi County to guarantee the smooth and safety and healthy college entrance examinations. Everything went well so far. The students is in a very stable mood. Thank you very much, Director Tian. I think Director Tian has given us some of the latest updates of the measures that we have taken recently to give a better environment for the students. We are going to follow the camera to have a look at the site of the college entrance examination. As I talked to Director Tian, we noticed that on the 21st of May, after the earthquake, all the college exam takers still continue their studying. Somewhere outside of the classroom, we'd like to invite Director Luo, who is the schoolmaster, to give us some of the brief introductions. So how did we relax the students to prepare for that? Director Luo, can you give us a brief introduction of the measure that our school has taken? After the earthquake, our school has worked on the studies, healthies, and also the mental treatment of the students, among other different areas. We are guaranteeing the students to be part of the college entrance examination. After the earthquake, the students have stayed at their campus for a long time. The examination, the teaching building has suspended its operation, and we have transferred the students to the open area. And after resuming the normal functions of the teaching buildings, we have moved the students back. In terms of the food and the water the students intakes, recently, in order to guarantee a very good food intake of the students, and starting from May the 5th, all the food package is free of charge, and I think Deputy Director Mr. Fu is responsible for the food that students takes in. And we have also provided students mineral water, hot water. In terms of the catering and the residence, we are providing the students shelters and also the beds. And I believe the dormitory is also open up to public. From the safety perspective, apart from the guaranteeing of the after staffs, we have also dispatched 6 different professionals to work around the clock at our school to guarantee the safe operations. And for the COVID-19 prevention and control measures, we conducted 3 times of the temperature testing every day. And we have sterilized the classroom every single day. And we have went through an all-rounded NT test. We have reported to the county government, and we have prepared a very professional psychiatrist team to give the extension of the students, and for the schools, we prepared the psychological class for the normal class, and also for the class of the safety for the students. Through these times of the anti-earthquake and measures, I believe the students should be stronger in face of this earthquake and in face of all the different challenges in front of their future life. And finally, the last question is that, because you are the schoolmaster of the higher school, do you have anything to say to your kids? Can you say something nice to kids? I wish all of you fighting for the future. I wish you a successful and bright future. Let's went back to this area. I believe there are so many workers working here, so let's shift the camera to somewhere near here. It is an area supplying the mineral water, and they are some of the volunteers. And I think alongside that, we have some of the public security bureau officers, and toward that, we have some of the firefighters who is prepared for these college entrance examinations, who are safeguarding for the students. This is the latest update of a Yangbi examination. I'd like to give the camera to the my colleague Sun Bing, who is from Guangdong, is going to bring you the latest update.
新闻的观众朋友们，大家好，我是总台央视记者孙斌。通过刚才云南的直播，大家也了解到，云南的高中在受到地震的影响之后，依然全力以赴地保障高考的安全。那么我现在正在广东广州，我现在在广州市第一中学的门口，这所高考考点就位于广州市荔湾区玉贤路上。那荔湾区目前也是广州疫情防控的重点工作区域。大家都知道，今年广州的疫情也给高考带来了不小的工作难度。那现在我们可以给大家看一下。
I think that through the live streaming from Yunnan, we could see that even if after the earthquake, the Yunnan officers and also the Yunnan Bureau is trying their best to guarantee the safety and smooth operations of the college entrance examinations. I'm here at the Liwan district. Liwan district has experiencing an outbreak of COVID-19. I'd like to show you the number 1 school, middle school of Guangzhou City. I think the students is entering one after that because of the prevention and control measures of the COVID-19. The parents should not stay at the gate. We could see there's a stream, that there's a team of the students who is entering into the testing center.
您能不能给我们简单介绍一下？因为我听说广州交警今天也是全警上路。那咱们在今年的高考的出行安全上都有哪些保障措施呢？
So how do we guarantee the smooth journey of the students? It is being safeguarded by the officers of the public transportations. So today we have invited Officer Tang, who is the deputy director of the Guangzhou Public Security Bureau. So in this year's college entrance examinations, do we have any guaranteeing measures? In 2021, during the college entrance examination, we are trying our best to guarantee the smooth journeys, and so far we have got the help from the students, and we have set up the precaution plans. And that is how we are going to optimize the routes. And secondly, we are trying our best to throw the police forces into the different examination spots. And we are also arranging all kinds of the public transportation management at the different crossroads to make sure the students enjoys a very silent environment, a very calm and peaceful environment, and we have also strengthened the order management. We have extended and trying to make sure that no vehicle is going to whistle or siren during the college entrance examinations. At the same time, we are also working toward the large-scale trucks and also the transportation vehicles of the chemical components. Officer Tang, I understand that this year we are also going to see the Yangcheng motorbike team. This is one of the features celebrated by Guangdong. So for the Yangcheng motorbike team, we are selecting the best and most skilled colleagues, and we have facilitated them with the medical mask together with the traditional Chinese medicine, and they are providing an in-time aid help to the students. Talking about the prevention and control measures, the students in the medium-sized risk areas or in the high-risk areas of the COVID-19, they are taking up the buses. How do we guarantee the safe operations of the parents? For those of the students, we are providing a prioritized service because some of the students, if they cannot arrive here on time, we are going to arrange the motorbike to fetch them to the testing center. For those who are experiencing a small traffic incident, we give them the alarm first, and then we are going to release them. For those who need to went through a compulsory measure, we are going to arrange the vehicles to be safeguarded to the examination areas. For those who have been went through the traffic incidents, we are going to dispatch the police forces to contact with the students and to transfer the students. This year marks the first year that the Guangzhou officers of the transportation is working together with the Metro Guangzhou. So they are going to dispatch some of the packages here. So the Guangzhou public officers is actually working together with the Metro Guangzhou to set up some of the aid stations to provide some of the serving kit to the students. And this is also the first time that the police force of the Guangzhou to set up a cooperation with Metro Guangzhou if their students has experienced some of the emergency in Metro Guangzhou, they can ask for help. If the Metro or the officers from Metro Guangzhou is going to safeguard the students to their testing areas, and the information is going to be updated online, and we are going to dispatch the officers. That's the reason why the Metro Guangzhou areas, and currently we are really curious about the prevention and control of the COVID-19 pandemic, the COVID-19 wave in Guangzhou. So what kind of measures did we take to in the areas of the prevention and control of COVID-19? According to the local government, we follow our effort in this field toward the prevention and control of COVID-19, and we are guaranteeing the public security measures toward the COVID-19. We are also trying to implement the grid-based and also community-based prevention and control measures of the COVID-19. And we are also trying our best to blockade the battle against COVID-19. And we requires for those who have some of the demand of the buses one-to-one. We have set up the green channels. And we also have set up the parking lot. Thank you very much, Officer Kang, for your kind introduction. We also want to thank the officer from Guangzhou for their safeguarding of the college entrance examinations. I believe that they are playing the music and also the notice of the Guangzhou. So we all want to know what is the latest update of the Guangzhou college entrance examinations. So let me bring you the latest update. There is around 54,000 of the college entrance examination takers in Guangzhou, and for a ratio of 1 to 10, they have set up the separational entrance examination center, and for the Guangzhou's number 8 hospital, and they have asymptomatic students who have taken up the examinations in this quarantine ward, and he is going to be safeguarded with the medical workers. And the testing paper is going to be sealed to be dispatched to the students. We could see that this year the Guangzhou's college entrance examination is under a very unusual scenarios. All the different levels of the local government is working together. So we are at the gate of number 1 middle school of Guangzhou. So I also want to introduce you. I think some of you are really curious about the information in Guangzhou.
同时，市教育局也在动态统计这54900名考生的精准信息，包括考生的住址、健康的状况、往返考点的交通方式等，确保全部的覆盖。
So I think that all the different staffs working at the college entrance examination center has went through the nuclear acid testings, and they have also finished environment virus sample testing, and the management and also the Bureau of the Examinations and Bureau of Education has also finished the NAT testing for the students. All students are covered. every year.
的学校会提供送证上门。
Some students might forget their ID card
说
or
到
the
中高
testing
风险地区
certification.
的考生啊，
If
大家一
we
定
have
比较
such a
关心
scenario
他们要
in
如何
Guangdong,
参加
the
考
students
试。
can ask for help
那目前
and
广州
print
市在
the
高风险地区
their ID
和
on
封闭
site.
管理区域共设有
And
4
for
个
those
考
of
点，
students
包
who
括
went
省
through
实
the
验中学、
quarantining
市中
areas
光中
or
学、
who went
市
through
培英
the
中学3个
at
常规考
home
点。
testings,
以及
the
根据
school
疫
is
情
going
防
to
控的需要
provide
启
an
用的
indoor
一般区
delivery
级
of
的
the
这样
testing
一个非公有
certification.
考点。
Talks
那
about
具体来说，
the
这3家学
students
校的
in
住
the
校学
medium
生
and high
都在
school
学校里封闭
medium
备考，然
areas.
后在本校的考点
So
考
in the
试。
high-risk
在高风
regions
险地区和
and
封
also
闭
in the
管理区
sealed
域居
region,
家备
they
考
have
的考
set
生
up
将会在
4
金道
different
中学
testing
参
areas:
加
the
高考。
Zhengguang,
所以
the
对于密接
Zhengguang
和亲密接
school,
的考
and
生啊，
also
都会
the
安排
among other
单
different
独的
middle
考点， 不
school
仅不
testing
以普通
center,
考
and they
生
have
为
also
主的
set
安
up
排，
a
而且分别
backup
安排在不同的考点考试。关于送考呢，这
test
个工作是
examination
由广州
centers
市教
to
育局
put
和
it
交通运输
specifically.
等等
All the
部门
students from these 3
来
different
负责
middle
的，
schools is going to take up the
确保专
examinations
人、
at
专
their
车、
home,
专
at
司机、
their
专用车
school.
辆、专用通道来实
For
行闭
those of
环的
the
管理。
students who went through the
送
who
考
are
过程
close
中
contact
严
of
格落
COVID-19
实车辆
patient
配
or the
备以及
secondary
消
close
毒、
contact of the
转移
COVID-19
司机
patient,
健康监
they are
测、
going to be
核酸检
separated.
测以及疫苗接
Separate,
种等
they are
疫
going
情
to
防
be
控要求。
separated in a single room
由各
to
个
went
相
through
关的
the
学校负责
college
提
entrance
供转运学生
examinations.
的名单和信
We
息，
have also make
来
sure
确
that
定
all
转运
these
的路
these
线，
students is going to
明确接送点的
be
位置，
operated
并接
in
送
a
人员，
specialized
做好与
vehicle,
考生
specialized
和
management
转运车
offices,
辆
and
双向对
specialized
接。
channels. We have also standardized all the different vehicle
考
drivers
生所在
and
的
went
学
through
校
specific
指定专
details
人
of
一
the
对一的
NT
负责
testings.
建立考
And
生、
for the different
家长、
schools, they
老
are
师、
providing a
司
name
机
list
等
for the
多对一
transferring
的
of the
跟踪
students
服务联
to make
系，
sure the routes.
做好登记和
We
跟
have
踪
also
管理。
clarified the
转运当
areas
天
where
登
the
车前和登车后都会再次确认，
this is
来
going to
做
be a
好
two-way
广州的高考生
connecting
考试
for the
期间的
students.
跟踪服务和管理。
And for the schools, they have also appointed on a professional managers and also the teachers who is going to be contacting with the students, with the
那通过我刚才的介绍，
parents,
大
and
家对于
before the
广州高考
parents,
今年的基本
before the
信息
students
有
aboard
一
the
定的了
bus,
解。我
they
今天
are
来到了
going,
这
their
所
parents
广
and
州
also
市一
their
中学啊，
teacher
创
is
于
going to be
1928年，它是广州
contacted.
市第一间公立中学。
This is how we
非常
manage the
丰富的
college
历史
entrance
文化底蕴。
examination here in
那我们
Guangdong.
今天也有幸邀请到了广州一中的校长吴校长。校长你好。校长是这样的，我想跟
Through
您
my
了解一下咱
introduction,
们
I
学校
believe
今
that
年
you
高考
have
的
a
基本
very
情
brief
况啊。
understanding
学校
toward
今
the
年一共
college
有多少
entrance
学生来到
examinations
考多
in
少考
Guangzhou. I am at the gate of the number 1 affiliated schools, and this is also the first public school in Guangzhou.
41个考生在考试，设置了这个46个考场。
So we have kindly invited the
这个
deputy
考场的设置
director
是
of
按
schoolmaster
照
of the Guangzhou number 1 middle school. How many students
指导考生
in your
在
school
考场
taking
上
up the
在
college
它的
entrance
考试
examination this year?
兼具普通考
We
生是
have
80
741 students taking up the exams, while at our examination center there is around 1,200 students, and we have set it up 21 normal examination centers, and we have also set up 5 different separation or backup testing center. What is the distance between the
低的考生，
students and the examination classroom, examination center? I think it's going to be 80 centimeters for their social distancing. And for some of the areas, for some of the students who is coming from a high-risk region, we have set up the distance of 2 meters, and no single students coming from the high-risk areas. We have actually set up special areas. So how about for the medium risk areas? And we are seeing the 26 different students,
进来和考试
and we are doing 2, 3, 4.
都各分40
That is the distance.
然后
So the
呢，
distance between the two students will be 2 meters. And every day we are going to run through the 3 times of the sterilizations and the prevention and control measures of the COVID-19. It includes the body temperature testing, and it also includes the nuclear acid testings, and we also required the students to replace full medical mask before and after the examinations, and we are also trying to work at 4 different fronts, and there is no cross rules There's no overlapping for the entrance route, there's no overlapping for the breakfast, and there's no overlapping for their gateways. So I think that we actually cares about how will the school do the prevention and control measures of the COVID-19. This year, the college entrance examinations is actually is actually meeting up with the COVID-19. So we have used some of the non-contacting measures. We have through more manpowers. That is for each one of the students, we actually arrange 2 different prevention and control officers. And we are trying to sterilize the process. And we are also going to update the information. For those of the closed content, so how did you do that? For the students who have some of the symptoms of heat, we set up professional medical workers to treat and evaluate the healthy symptoms of the students. At the same time, we kindly require the students to went through to go to the backup testing examination centers. And if there is any report of the closed content or the secondary closed content, we are going to report it to the local Bureau of the National Health Commission, and they are going to transfer the students to a certain and designated area for the specialized test designed for them. These quarantining areas set up by the school is actually helping the students. This backup classroom is actually set up for those of students who experienced the heat waves. So, can you give us a brief introduction toward the medical workers who went to who were affiliated this year? I believe the ratio is 1 to 6. That is to say, for 6 of the students, they have 1 medical worker responsible for their health condition. They are working on site. At the school gate, we could see 1 group of the students entered into the testing area. Apart from the help of the #1 affiliated school, and I believe for those of the students who are living in a remote area, we are also trying to help them. At the same time, we are working together. Starting from the year 2014, we have set up the education aiding measures. From the #2 affiliated schools of the Qingyuan Middle School, we usually arrange 3 to 4 students to study in the #1 affiliated school of Guangzhou. I believe the 29 students they have come back to. These are the students living in the poor family household and who we have fetched them here because they are going to. They actually came back to Lianzhou #2 Middle School after 3 years of education and the #1 middle school of Guangzhou, and most of them cry when they depart from our school. And I think on the left side, it is our at 7:25. This is the cloud singing off of all the students. I believe the students came back earlier and they are also staying at home. our teachers and our students really cares about them, and we are hoping for a quite good future for all of them. That's the reason why we have dispatched some of the packages to you, and we also want them to have the confidence in their future, to let their dream fulfilled. We are seeing the schoolmaster and also the staff is wearing the red medical mask. This is also going to celebrate. In Guangzhou, we have a very enriching culture with the red clothes and also the red medical mask. So our requirement to the parents is that I think the parents should follow a very rational mentality that we do not want any chaotics. And if they have, we require the parents to dispatch their students to the school gates, and they should leave the school immediately. That is for the benefit of the prevention and control of the COVID-19. Can you give us some of the measures that you have required the teachers to do in terms of the prevention and control of COVID-19? First, we require the teacher to be very well prepared for their personal health. They should do a really good job for their PPEs, and we are actually composed of the two groups of the teachers. One is from our own school, another group of the teachers coming from other schools. So we give them the guideline, and they should be works really good in the prevention and control measures. If they do not follow a very strict requirement, we are going to remind the teachers and also the students, and whether they went through a very strict requirement, and we are also going to give them the relevant guides. And during the process, prevention and control measures of the COVID-19 is one of our priorities. We are sitting at the gateway of the school and having a look toward the classroom and also the testing center, and it's about to start. At 9 a.m., we are going to witness this turning point for their destiny. We have a few minutes before the examinations. So what are the students doing here? Can you imagine that? 5 minutes before the examinations, the examination paper is going to be dispatched. The students is going to have a glimpse of their paper, and they are also going to fill in their personal information on their answering paper. So what are these tents used for? And in the recent few days, according to the weather forecast, we have some of the heavy storms. Our students have started from the Bureau of Science and Technology from this side. That's the reason why we prepared this tent to block the sun and also the rain, because Guangzhou has experienced a very heavy rain in the recent few days. In this year, the college entrance examination has encountered the COVID-19 pandemic and also the heavy rain. I believe after this testing, these kids are born at the year of the SARS. In 2003, where the SARS broke out, I believe that this year the students is going to be very confident to deal with any other challenges in their life. We hear the bells ring at the site. It is a reminder of the official beginning of the college entrance examinations. The students can take up their pens and write the answers on their paper. So we could see that between the two buildings, there is a dormitory building. And because of the COVID-19 prevention and control measures, the students have to live inside the campus, and they are not allowed to rent onto the campus. So in our school, we have a very strict requirement. On that side, that is the laboratory. On that side, it is the living quarters for the students. And those who are living in the living quarters are not allowed to enter into the teaching quarters. For those students living at the schools, it usually takes a few minutes to arrive in the areas. Let's check about the time arrangement for the Guangdong province.
每个考生省只考2门，每个考生省只考2门，就是广州是3+1。
At the 7th of June,
3就是语文、数学。
this is the first day of the college entrance examination. We are going to witness the Chinese and mathematics examination taking on, and tomorrow is going to be the English and also the foreign languages. And so for Guangzhou City, we have taken on a program of 3+1+2.
然后呢，它结束的时间呢也比较晚。9号上午的结束时间是。
So for the 3, it means the Chinese and also the foreign language and also the mathematics. And for the +1, the students need to select one subject, either history or physics. And for the +2, it means the students need to select 2 from either chemistry or biology or the geography or the politics.
我们3栋建小楼，一个是。
So it usually takes 3 hours for the examination. It has a very strict requirement. I could see the campus was closed. We cannot enter into the campus. Can we kindly ask the schoolmaster to give us an introduction toward how do we set up the examination quarters? 3 months ago, we have 3 buildings. And that is the building of Neixian. It is named after acclamation studying in our school. Used to study in our school. That is #1 building. That is the area that is set up for the 2nd degree of the high school students. That is the college building for the college entrance examination taker. And the classroom number 45 to number 44, it is used to the students to quarantine the students from the minimum risk areas. We have put up the alarming screens. Where did we set up the medical rooms? It is being set up on the 1st floor of the examination area. I think the students. We have arranged 2 different workers, and thank you very much the 2 professors who brought us such a very good information. This is also the first day for the college entrance examinations. What do you say to the students? I wish all of you a confident, calm, and smooth journey in this journey in the college entrance examinations. We here want to remind you, the parents of the students, to back up their students, to back up their kids, and they are also going to be together with their students. So we are going to go to Anhui, and we are going to invite Jiang Kai to bring you the latest update of the college entrance examination in Anhui.
那现在我们看到，目前的这个时间已经是上午的9点，也就是说，此时此刻，2021年的这个高考已经正式开始了，考生们正在考场里进行第1门科目的考试。但此时呢，在考点的外面，还是有很多部门在忙碌着。我们看到呢，现场有很多的这个。
So I am the gateway of the number 2 of the schools of the Anhui Ma'anshan Middle School. It is 9 a.m. That is to say, the college entrance examinations of the year 2020 first started. On the side of the college entrance examinations, I could see a lot of police forces and who is preparing for the college entrance examination. And we have a very special worker, which is the wireless vehicle. So the wireless vehicle is used to monitor the college entrance examination So we are actually monitoring all the signals from the college entrance
好的，
examination.
其实今天很多的这个考生啊和家长在考点
Today
周围
there
呢，
are
可
so
能也
many
都
different
发
students
现了
who
这个
is
看到
actually
啊有
taking
类
up the
似的
exams
这样
and
的
they
这个
have
车辆，
witnessed the
大家对这样的一
equipment.
个 巡考员
equipment
还是
or
非常好
vehicles.
奇。前两看能不能给我们展示一下？
All of you are quite curious about the performance of such a vehicle. Director Tian, can you give us a brief introduction toward this vehicle? This vehicle is set up to block the signal inside of the examination center.
好，我们一起来看一下。刚才您讲说我们这个主要是发现这个有没有这种作弊信号，那我们怎么样来发现这
It
些？
is detecting the signals being sent in the testing center according to the management requirement of the People's Republic of China. All the different testing centers should be monitored by this wireless equipment. By detecting all the different channels and channel different wavelengths, we are going to figure out the normal signals and abnormal signals. And if we have detected any abnormal signals, we're going to try to identify the certifications for the students.
我们看一下，就
And
是现
these
在
are
在这个
some
屏
of
幕
some
上
of
来，镜头给
them
到这
might
里，
be
我
the
们看一下
cheating
现在的
signal.
镜头上显示
Some of
有
the
很
signals
多的这个
detecting the cheatings.
这个跳动啊，这个都是这些都是信号。
There are some of the ups and downs of the waves, and all these indicating waves, right? All of them are legal signals. How do we figure out any abnormal signals? Let me give you some of the waves that we have taken up so far. That is, so here at this position, this wave is a very abnormal signal. Through this equipment, we analyzing the signals and trying to figure out the abnormalities and storage the signal in our database. This is actually the abnormal signals or signals with
那我提醒一下大
unspecified
家，
or
现在我们看到这
uninformed
个跳动的
sources.
信号是
So
提
here
前
I like to
做的一个
remind
模拟
you
啊，并不是说现在
that
在
this
我们的
signal
考
is
点周围
the
有这样的异常信号。那假如说
recorded
是发现
signal.
了这
It
种，
is
就有
not
可能是
what
作
we
弊
are
信号。那我
witnessing
们
on
怎么
the
处理？
testing ground. So once we witness that, what do we do with that signal? After we detect that signal, we are going to block these signals. At the same time, we are going to organize the other different management parties to figure out and position that. We are not only going to scan that, we are also going to position that. Once we detected some of the abnormal signals, we are going to figure out whether it is the signals for the cheatings, and because there are so many sensitive signals in the air. So that's the reason why our responsibility is to identify the signals. And we are also going to adopt a series of the emergency measures to suppress the signals and to block the signals.
另外，你讲到这个马上要做的就是跟其他的这个部门进行联
You
动
have talked
来
about
寻找和定位。
the correlations with other different departments, right? I think the position is going to be conducted by us. And we are also going to inform them about the emergency treatment. Positioning is our responsibility. How do you position one if you detect one abnormal signals? Because you cannot feel the signals. I'm going to give you a very simple show toward that. For our equipment, it has the function of positioning.
就是一旦有异常信号，我们通过我们的一些技术设备，然后我们能够对这个信号的来源进行精准的定位。
Through our equipment, through our positioning functions, it can be positioned like that. We are using our circuit to figure out the directions of the sensitive signals. And we are also going to let the vehicle approaching the routes of the signal, and by using this equipment, we are going to figure it out manually. I'd like to have a look. What we are holding in our hand is a very precision-based detecting equipment. Once we figure out any abnormal signals, we are going to use this signal to lock down the resources of the signal. The cheating signal is usually located somewhere it is easily being detected. And through these technologies, through these skills, we can promote it, we can push it. And later on, we are going to figure out who have conducted the illegal behavior through the radio or wireless equipment. So what kind of measures do we do? The wireless or the radio measures. It is a product of the latest update of the radio technologies. And with ever upgrading of those cheating measures, our technology is also trying to catch it up. The signal is also transferring from the words and also the graphs to some of the transcripted language, and they have more equipment to support their cheatings. Or, for example, they have the earphones, the watch, and also the pen is also being transferred through a signal receiver or signal. We are seeing that not only from where I am located, I think this kind of wireless equipment was also being launched, so was also being operating to guarantee a fairness of the college entrance examination. We have monitored all the examination in an all-rounded manner. Let me introduce you the working process. Recently, we have tested the environment, and we have understood it, the latest updates. And during the college entrance examination, we are also using some of the fixed stations. It is widely covered, and at every single different examination areas, we are using it as a supplementary measures to have a real-time monitoring. At the same time, we have some of the convenient measures, and we are allocating a all-comprehensive network to guarantee the smooth operation of that. Thank you very much, Director Qian, for your kind introduction. Just as what you have mentioned, at every single examination center, we have allocated such a wireless vehicle. Apart from that vehicle, we have other different vehicles. And all the students is going to participate in college entrance examination in a fair background. I believe there are so many different workforces guaranteeing the safe operation. So I would like to introduce you Director Ji from the Bureau of Examination and Education of Ma'anshan City. Director Ji, welcome. Can you give us a brief introduction toward the latest updates of Ma'anshan City? In Ma'anshan City, we have set up 13 different standardized testing centers. And today we are seeing the largest testing center in our city. It is called the number 2 testing center in Ma'anshan City. They have 41 different testing classrooms. And since we are arriving here around the testing classroom, we have so many different workers, and we are also operating on a management, and we are also working together with the public security bureaus, and they are also conducting the public management. And at the gate of the public security bureaus, we are trying to seal it. And no single one of the police forces is working together, and we are also trying to work together with the environmental bureaus, and especially during in the coming tomorrow afternoon's listening test for English and other foreign language, the environment is going to be very quiet to guarantee the smooth operations of the college entrance examinations. There are so many different posters. Here remind the students. So what is the difference? On the left side, it is very different with what we are seeing last year. According to the provincial government's requirements, once they have entered into that, the students is going to went through a very strict requirement. So we have set up this alarming poster. The students is not allowed to bring their phones and also the watches into the examination area. The students is going to give their phones and watches to their parents before they enter into that. That is one testing procedures before the real test, and it's also going to safeguard the process.
属于违禁物品，是禁止，在过去是禁止带入考场的。但是今年呢，有一个新的变化，就是不仅仅是禁止带入考场，是连这个考点都禁止带入了。上面讲到呢，如果是考生不小心带过来了，那么可以交给家长或者是送考老师。
They can deliver it to their parents or the teachers before they enter into the examination center. So how will the students, if the students are here alone, so how do we keep the students' phones and also watches? For example, if the students came here alone, we are going to set up a very special keeper for the students' phones. And we are trying to replicate that. We are also going to remind the students to wear the mask and also all the other different prevention and control measures. We have entered into the examination area. This is going to guarantee the safe operation of the students.
就是在进出的时候，因为人员比较聚集，所以这个时候是按照规定是
So if the students is gathering up at the gate, there is going to be a very crowded. There's going to be a crowd.
在旁边的这个角落，我们可以一起来看一下。
Apart from this corner,
口罩啊，这个洗手液这些我们能想
we
象
have
到的。
dispatched
但
the
是我看
medical
旁边还
mask
摆放了很多
and
这个
also
不少这
the
个轮椅。
sterilizers.
轮椅也是为高考准备的吗？
There are some of the wheelchairs.
突然发生这个意外行动不便的这些考生呢，准备好了。
So this is a wheelchair set up for students who experienced a sudden immobility. If the student is far away from the examination area, examination classroom, we can actually send them through this wheelchair. In our school, we provide them 3 meals free of charge. We also have the manager of the dormitory who is going to alarm the students, and we have give the students all kinds of information from the food that they take, their psychological treatment, and we are trying to give the students their best guidance. We noticed that the local schools and also the students have give some of the letters. So what kind of content do we have here? For the parents, this is for their prevention and controls, and so for some of the notice of the students. And we're here to remind the students to be safe and to be healthy, and they should have a very clear understanding of what should be care of during the college entrance examination. We talked about the students who are living in the campus, of the parents who are not helping their kids with the participations of the college entrance examinations. So how will the school manage the food and canteen? So we have conducted them free of charge. And according to the weather information, we are going to give the students some of the nutrients and give them some of the variants of the food package. We hope the students could enjoy this safe journey of the college entrance examination. As Schoolmaster Wang has mentioned, that at noon, the students are going to take a noon break, and we are also going to provide the students an alarming service. Once they take the nap, there are so many students who suffered from oversleep every year because of the anxious mentality. That's the reason why we have arranged a professional alarm for the students. Think of the students when they are being dispatched. They are being dispersed at the different examination centers. That's the reason why school has been contacted with voluntary vehicle provider. So every year, they are going to fetch the students and pick up the students. Apart from the catering, transportation, it is 9 a.m. and it's very hot here. If there is any hot temperature during the college entrance examination, how will that be done? Specialized or extreme weather conditions is not seen very frequently, and we have a very clear requirement toward the on and off of the air conditioning, and we are all generally ready to report to the local municipal government to decide whether we should take the air conditioning on and off. It's not going to be different across every single different examination center. It is going to went through that after the general conductions, and I think we have one manager who is responsible for that. No matter for the food, the clothes, the changes of weather, all the school is prepared quite well for that. But during the college entrance examination, there might be some of the emergency occurred. Once it occurred, do we have some of the backup plans? The emergency plans is operated in a systematic manner. Let me take one example, that is the listening testing, the testing for the foreign language listening. We have done some of the precaution measures. Before the examinations, we check about the technical support for multiple times. The experts has went through the different testing area to test the playing of the listening equipment, and we have also been contacting with the electricity supplying department to guarantee the safety of the management. And we also have our officer who is responsible to listening the tapes for many times. So we have arranged a specialized officers. We arranged the students, we arranged the parents, the English teacher, the class master, and also the schoolmasters to listen to that video tapes to make sure that it is being clearly recorded. That is how we guarantee the smooth operation of the college entrance examination. No matter from the director, some of the measures might not be used or encountered during the examinations, but we have made a very fond precaution. At the school gate, we even prepared a wheelchair. During the college entrance examinations, the wheelchair works. One student at the 20th of May, he went through an operation at his leg part, but he needs to take the examination at the floor 5, the 5th floor. We cannot rearrange that. The classroom. And so that's the reason why we are using the wheelchair to carry the student at the gate of the building, and together with his father, two security guards is also helping the students to climb the floors. After the end of the college entrance examinations, his father is also going to accompany him to fetch him down from the 5th floor. Just as we have mentioned, every single preparation is for the smooth operations and for the prevention and controls of any single emergency to guarantee the safe journeys of the college entrance examinations. We hope all the students to have a very sound performance.